it's time for a horror story. And the first part of the horror story is one that I can tell ever so often. It's the story of terminology. Because when I hear people talking of Prolog and Datalog, and if they're learners of Prolog and Datalog, they will often use the wrong terminology. They'll speak of methods or functions, but there are no methods or functions in Datalog or Prolog. We've got predicates, no functions, no methods. The whole terminology used in logic programming comes from logic. It's completely different because this programming paradigm is very different, certainly from the imperative paradigm and the imperative object-oriented program, but also from the type functional programming paradigm that we see in Haskell. Prolog and Datalog are very different from those. Now, whenever you want to understand a Prolog program, you have to be able to read it. And it's nice to be able to read a clause and talk about what it does, because if you've got debugging to do, you should be able to talk about your programs. And it's very tempting when you see a clause that you say, here's the path function. It's not a function, it's a predicate. But then it's tempting to say, first we call path, and then we call edge. Well, please don't do that. Please don't, because there are no calls in logic programming. If we want to satisfy this goal, we must satisfy that goal and satisfy that goal. But there are no functions. Datalog and Prolog are declarative languages. Think of this clause as defining a condition that must be satisfied. Think of this as saying that there is a path from X to Z if there is a path from X to Y and an edge from Y to Z. So we should not think of this in operational terms. We should think of this in declarative terms. A Prolog program specifies a logical condition or logical conditions that must be satisfied. So that's the morale of that.